Mercury Outboards, Ranger Boats, and Normark. Of competitive bass fishing, only the best take on the Silverado. A challenging 5-tournament series where professional bass anglers are paired with an amateur angler. Together, they challenge all comers for a one-day shootout to find out who is the best of the best on the Silverado Pro Bass Tour.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the third stop of the Silverado Pro Bass Tour. We're up here in northern Minnesota on Rice Lake, which is the backwater of the Mississippi River. Gary, what's it going to take to win this one?
Well, we've had a lot of rain up here. We got a lot of dirty water. It's going to be a very tough tournament. But one thing nice about it, being up here on the river, they can run 35 miles up the river.
You make sure you stay tuned. We'll be back for the fishing action.
Lottery proceeds benefit our natural and economic environments. Don't forget to have some fun.
Rice Lake and the Mississippi River present the challenge on the third stop of the Silverado Pro Bass Tour. A quick look at the point standings finds Mark Raveling holding a slim 2-point lead over Steve Lumen.
You know, I've had 2 pretty good tournaments, and this one is really going to be the tough one. I think it's tough for everybody. I'm thinking if you catch 4 or 5 fish, I think you're going to look really well.
If I had 12 pounds in my boat tomorrow, I'd be one happy camper. I guarantee you, you're going to make top 10 with 12 pounds.
Donlinger Chevrolet in Brainerd, Minnesota is the host for the Friday meeting. The usual pre-tournament optimism is not running very high.
Do I feel good about it? I feel mediocre about it. I think if I even brought in 3 good fish, I'd be really happy.
You know, the top guys could very well zip, including myself, you know what I mean? With the weather and the cold fronts coming in and out of here, I think it's really going to be hard to get a limit of fish. I'm hoping I can bring in a fairly nice bag of fish, and I want to keep in my standings and going into the last tournament, because it is a dream to be that Angler of the Year.
This tournament's really going to be the deciding factor, I think, for Angler of the Year.
This one's going to break the straw on a lot of camels' backs this particular tournament.
What is it about the river that has got the top bass anglers in the Midwest so concerned?
You're using a push pole to get back into some of these backwaters and the rice and the duckweed and the pads and stuff. And it's a style of fishing I've done a lot. But it's something I rarely ever do in a tournament.
We've got a lot of anglers in this field, Brad Leiferman in particular, Scott Bonham, guys that have fished a lot of river systems and done very well. Those guys have a definite advantage. They know how river systems work, they know what fish do and how they relate to the water clarity problem that we have now with all the rain. So
what you're going to run into here is a lot of guys that are not familiar with fishing rice in particular. It's going to be a lot of flipping, heavy tackle, heavy line, and I think when you finally get one, it's only going to be 10 feet from the boat, so when it happens, it's going to happen really fast.
We're on board with Scott Bonham and amateur partner Lauren Bird, Saturday morning for the 6:30 a.m. start.
It's exactly 6 o'clock in the morning. We've got a beautiful sunrise coming up. We're going to have high, bright skies today. Got a few little clouds off in the distance, but I don't think it'll mean much. It's supposed to be in the 80s today. God, is that pretty or what?
I consider this a real privilege to fish here because this is the uppermost, furthest part of the Mississippi River that you can catch largemouth bass. It's a virgin fishery. It's got gin clear water with beautiful weeds and rocks. And I fished all over the country on the Mississippi River, and there's millions of guys out there that would give their left arm to fish this part of the Mississippi River.
Beautiful fishing day. I don't care if I catch a fish today. I'm gonna have a hell of a time.
A lot of the pros have been saying that the big ones are out here, getting active. Sounds like a lot of fun.
That's about it. Fun.
See this right here? She's going to catch them and I'm going to net them.
I think we're going to have fun. No matter what, we'll get a lot of boils, whether we get them in the boat or not. I guess whoever can rip them out of the junk the best, and I've got one heck of a strong man with me.
Fishing with Matt Birch here this morning, and he's a junior am. We'll take him out there. We're going to have a lot of fun.
For those of you unfamiliar with the Silverado Pro Bass Tour, it's a pro-am event with teams randomly selected. Pros and ams weigh the combined weight of an 8-fish limit.
Harvey's the guy to beat. That's what everybody says. He's catching 4 to 7 pounders.
Well, evidently my fish gained weight in the last couple of days, about 4 pounds apiece.
Leroy.
Morning. Gotta get ready for it.
We're just gonna turn the old trolling motor on high and see what we can do.
Getting nervous. It's time.
Today's the day.
It's D-Day, man. It's time to go catch some fish.
Good luck to everybody.
6:30, and the first of 86 boats heads off into the early morning fog. When we return, we'll ride with Scott Bonema as we take to the river for the Silverado Pro Bass Tour.
Every tournament is exciting. I'm pumped for this day. It's going to be a wonderful time.
Got 8 minutes after.
Quarter 2:45.
Drawing boat number 52, Bonema and Berg are near the end of the second flight. Already on his opening spot is Michael Carter.
I'm just going to sneak in here and fish just a little section of pads that have yet to be fished and see if maybe we can pull a scrum frog fish. Is it a bass? No. Keep him tight. No, pike. Whew. Get your blood pumping like a...
We'll just fish here a little bit and then we'll hit another one.
Scott Bonema decides to try a small backwater bay on his way to his first spot.
Oh, God! I just had a blow up, darn it.
Paul Newman and AM partner Jimmy Brand started their day on Little Rabbit Lake.
We're back in a I guess it's a lake, but it's also a backwater of the river. You know, the water's real clear. The river's really muddy right now.
Paul's on a good roll. He stuck 3 really decent fish here this morning on a real tough bite.
And all we're really doing is just fishing a stretch of shoreline that just has a good weed line on it.
Silverado pro Brad Eller gives insight into this interesting body of water.
I guess on the maps they call the actual Rice Lake a 400-acre body of water, but as you come upriver, a part of the Mississippi, there's all kinds of backwaters, and then you've got some special little areas like your Half Moon Lake and your Rabbit Lake, but the big fish are definitely out in the Rice. It is a pike-infested body of water. You'll have a good time if you want something just tugging on the end of your line. Apparently there's a lot of walleyes and few smallmouths, although I've heard of some being caught on this tournament, free fishing. Here's a fish here. Pike. That's what we've been dealing with today. Set the hook and it's Mr. Toothy.
Pitching SWAT jigs into the Rice along the main channel are Dan Beckerman and Gary Schmidt.
Fishing's been kind of slow this morning. We've got 3 fish in the well. Very tough. We're fishing tight in the Rice and hoping to get a few that come out and get it.
A partner's seen a fish boil here, which is usually a good sign there's one feeding, so we're casting over the top of this duckweed, which I believe that's where the fish are hiding out there to kind of get out of the sun, and they're probably also feeding on frogs. We hear the frogs in the background once in a while. He's underneath it right now. There he is. Yeah, he's a bass too. Yep. That's a good one.
Nice fish, John.
Yes. Good one. Well, he gave himself away there big time, didn't he? Worst thing you can do is pull it away from him when he just makes a little movement or a little swat at it. The ideal situation is when he hits, just let your bait sit there, because he'll usually come up and then go down on it. And then once he goes down on it, that's when you need to set the hook. Easier said than done.
Working the net for Gene Norgren on this largemouth is Jeff Vitale.
Oh man, this is what we need. We're on our way.
That's I don't know, northern. I got northern. Right now it's 10 minutes after 10, and we've got 3 fish in the live well. I've got a pretty good am partner. We're working as a good team. I'm letting him throw things on top, and I'm working down a little bit below the surface. Right now I'm throwing a jig and a ninja craw. Kenny, get the net.
While the bass being caught are good size, 3 pounds plus, a limit, as predicted, will be hard to catch.
That's the one we're looking for, Kenny.
It sure is. We've done everything. I've been throwing spoons back in the rice. I flipped jigs. I went into one spot that I was going to start this morning, and Pat Martin was there. He had already caught a 3-pounder, and that was the biggest fish that we've heard of.
Well, this is the size fish that we've been getting. They're really nice in this lake, but there ain't a lot of them. And so far we've had 3 on, 2 up the boat, and 1's in the live well, and we lost 2 big fish jumping beside the boat again today.
Not too bad. We need just a few more to go with them.
Picked up 1 in the pads. Right now, all we're doing is throwing spinner baits. Almost forget what it feels like to get bit.
You can't get down. You just got to keep going and just say, well, there's 6 hours left, there's 5 hours left, there's 4. And then you panic when you got 1 left and you got nothing in the box. Trying to softly lay a 3/8 ounce jig in there in that real thick stuff is impossible. And give it the old sky drop sometimes where you pitch a jig way in the air. At least you can penetrate and punch through. And snap the jig right down into the stuff to punch through the rice. If you traditionally just go and flip or cast or pitch to it, a lot of times your jig will just hang right up and take that blade of rice with, and the pitch is wasted.
Well, we started up in half moon, and we had 2 fish in the boat by 6:30, and then the rest of the boats came in there, and the fish shut down, and we never caught another one.
We've tried everything. We don't know what to do.
Caught about 3 or 4 dogfish that weighed 5-6 pounds. If we could bring those in and try to pass them off as bass, we'd be doing pretty good.
Another angler whose fishing has gone to the dogs is Ira Loveday.
There's your dogfish for sure. This is the second dogfish we got in here, but we've got 2 good bass out of here too.
We've been back in the slop so far. If you take a shot at my motor there behind Deb, you can see what it kind of looks like. All we can do is keep plugging away. All it's going to do is take a couple good fish in here, and you might even be in the money.
I've got 20 rods laying out. I've tried everything. I'm back so far in the slop here, taking me 10 minutes just to get back here. And we're just trying to fish these trees, and I come around the corner, and who's there but old Harv, and he's back in here flipping. The points leader right here don't have any. I got 1. I'll be surprised if there's a limit brought in today, huh?
Get the net, Gary.
With the weigh-in approaching, Dan Beckerman, using a Moss Boss,
He feels like a good one. He's back in the garbage.
has a big bass take him deep into the weeds.
He's still on there.
That's nice.
Well, we pretty much stuck with our spot all day, and the water temps are coming up, and the fish are getting more active. It's number 6.
We only got an hour left.
We got 3, and we're hoping for more
Ken,
yet.
there's another one, Ken. It's a smallie.
Hey, not bad.
Ken Rain lands a smallie for Jesse Wentland, and the anglers head for the weigh-in. When we return, We'll see who takes the top spot at the Rice Lake Silverado.
Lottery proceeds benefit our natural and economic environments. Don't forget to have some fun.
It was a hard day, but I had a lot of fun.
We had a few technicals and a few logistics.
But 112-incher, man. If you like dogfish, you got a 6-pounder.
It was kind of slim, but we got some great fish today.
Didn't catch a fish and had a heck of a good time.
I don't want to talk about it.
What can you do?
Tough day, man. Tough body of water.
It's going to be one long ride home.
I'd like to welcome all the spectators to the third stop of the Silverado Pro Bass Tour. Let me tell you a little bit about what's going on here. It's a Pro-Am event, Pro being the one controlling the boat. They fish for an 8-fish limit. Fish need to be 12 inches in length. And for what I'm seeing in the bags, it's been a tough bite.
Even the pros have bad days, huh?
Went pretty good. We got a couple late ones. Helped us out a little bit.
Let's get the first guy up here.
Leave that excess water in there. I need all the weight I can get.
Dave Scallett and Brent Erickson coming up. You might have 3 or 4. How many you got?
I got 4.
He's got 4. Come on over here, Dave. You might win this.
Oh, no, not with 4 fish. It's going to take a little more than that.
Did your amateur help you at all?
Well, I kept on telling him it was his turn all day long, and he just didn't get it done for me.
Why didn't you take your turn, son?
I took a couple turns with some nice northerns, but those still don't count, do they?
Yeah, they're too slimy. We don't touch those things up here. What do you got? 934 is what I'm seeing.
34, yeah, you got it.
Yeah, 934 is what I'm seeing. Good job, David. How many's in that bag?
We got 3 of them.
How many did you get, Robert?
1.
All right, we got a team here. They all largemouth?
Yep. Yes.
No smallies yet.
758.
You're in second place, 758. Mark Fisher and Robert Henniger. Come over here, Mark. Are they both largemouth?
Yeah, they both are. Both came off of wood in the main river channel throwing jigs. Just one of those
like
days.
rubber band jigs type jigs?
Yeah, skirted jigs, you know, and a grub.
What do you got?
701.
701. Mark Fisher. All right, Pat Martin. Richard Caravue. Come on over here, Pat. How many fish you got in there? This is your kind of water, ain't it?
Yeah, well, when it's tough is when I do the best, it seems like. Actually, I have 5 fish, but we had 7 more on today.
What do you got, Gary?
1205.
1205. Here's your leader right now. All right.
Thank you, guys.
Good job, thanks.
Thanks.
Jerry Curtis and Matt Bursch. I got an early report. He had a pretty good bag. So you got 5 in there? Somebody told me you had 5.
No, I just give him a high 5 sign.
Oh, a high 5 sign. All right.
Give him 820.
820. All right, let's roll. Russell Cooper and Steve Miller. 4 fish.
4.
What's the bite come on?
Quite a bit of variety. Let me see. 1 sluggo, 1 jig, and 2 scum frogs.
What you got, Gary?
960.
960. Hey, you're in the money yet. It's Paul Newman, our 1998 Pro Angler of the Year. He fishing with Jimmy Brand. How many fish?
We got 3. And we got 3 right away, and I thought it was going to turn out to be a good day, but we just can't get any more bites. We'll see how much they weigh here.
661.
All right, 661.
Wait, a big one for a tiebreaker.
At the weigh-in midway point, Pat Martin holds the lead at 12.05 pounds.
Our youngest pro angler, who was a junior amateur for the previous 2 years, and got lucky and got himself a fish, and you survived the hunt, son.
Good, and what a hunt it was.
The elk were deep into the pasture, is what you were saying?
Yeah, I was knee deep.
Knee deep.
162.
162. Hey, stay in there, kid. Things are going to get better. Oh, look at this. This is the guy I picked. My man's coming to the scale. Leroy Ranstrom.
I thought I could do it, honestly. I felt I could get a limit out there with the practice I had going, but the bite just got tough.
All right, what do you got, Gary? You got a leader?
1041.
Oh, yeah. 1041 in second place. That's good.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Look at this for Jesse Wetland. All right, what a recovery. How many fish, Jess?
4.
4. Your wife's going to be proud. I'm proud.
731.
731. You're in the hunt, son. Good luck. This is Ross Haug, the amateur, fishing with Brent Winkler. What do you got?
644.
644. Not too bad. Good job. Oh. Gene Nordgren gets lucky.
Not many bites.
All right. 10-11. Ooh, not bad. You're going to be in there. 10-11. Good job, gentlemen. The biggest stringer, I think, or the most fish coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Woo!
Nice fish, guys.
Daniel Beckerman and Gary Schmidt. 6 fish. Come on over here, Dan. What do we got to beat, Gary? 12 something?
1205.
1205. What did we catch those fish on?
Most of them came off a moss boss.
Moss Boss in the rice?
Right.
In the rice. You fish this lake much? You up from this area?
From the Sock Center area. I've been up here a few times.
All right. What do you got? We got a leader?
19 pounds even.
Boom. There you go. 19 pounds even money. Hold them up, Gary, and we'll get the big fish. You guys want to grab those and slide over?
19 pounds even takes the top spot for Beckerman and Schmidt. When we return, we'll check the final standings and get the winning tip from Dan Beckerman. Congratulations to Dan Beckerman and Gary Schmidt, winners of the Rice Lake Silverado. Here are the top 15 finishers, their weights and prize money.
That we caught our fish on today on a swat jig with rattles. Took a few fish with a rat. The main lure that worked the best today was a moss boss. It went through the rice a lot better, and it's easier to fish in the garbage. You need a real good rod to fish this stuff. We're spooled up with 60-pound spider wire. I don't think there's any finer line, because there's absolutely no stretch in this stuff. And when you get them back in the garbage, you've got to get them out. I'm using custom-built rods from Red Barn Custom Rods, and there's stiff as pool cues to pull them guys out of there. Teamed up with Teamed Iowa reels. I like their fast retrieve. They're a good, tough reel. Another good one. I was in 20th place coming into today's tournament. I'm sure with the wind, it's going to bump me up pretty high in the standings. We'll see you on the water.
Good job. Dan and Gary, 6 fish, 19 pounds. But over half the field never caught a fish, so that's going to throw a real disarray into the point standings. But Gary, where are we going next week?
Next week, we're going down to Minneapolis, the metro area, Lake Minnetonka. You folks tune in next week for some big bass action.
Program is brought to you by the Minnesota State Lottery.